Oh my god! I'm actually real. Hi. There we go. I'm reacting to it with we got face cam. We have face cam this time around because I was like, I might as well do face cam actually, this time around just to bring so that way you guys can read my face better. Well, yeah, actually, I'll just be sitting here like this just the whole time, just going, oh yeah, yeah. You guys want to see my magic cards? Look at this shit. These are all rares and like mythics. I'm sorting all of them right now. I have so many. Anyway, anyway, that's not why we're here though. I just want to show you guys magic cards. Anyway, business expense. I made them a business expense just by doing that. So we have got something for you guys today. I am very excited. So there is a person, LexCat, who has made a a little bit of generation loss sort of like theory recap content in the past, and recently a new video was released. That, oh, where did I go? There I am. Wait, nope. Wait, what? Wait, where did I go? Wait, there I am. Okay, cool. um a video was released. I won't be this small, just talking about what you guys may have missed over the past like yearish or so. I don't know exactly what it's about. I said like theory slash recap video because that kind of seems what it seems to be, and I thought that it would probably be a very very good idea to react to it, because also I want to give flowers where flowers are due, because it seems like a really good video, and I want to react to it, as well as I just wanted to see it. So I want to watch it with you guys. So I'm very excited for this. Confession, I've never played the Founders game. Something tells me that this will actually help out a lot with that. So if you haven't played the Founders game, or if you just like haven't like watched anything, and if you don't want to be spoiled, highly recommend. Did my camera just like go down a little bit? I don't know. Highly recommend that you guys play that first and then watch this. Or if you just want to watch this and not really care about anything else, then just watch this. But it'll be fun. It'll be really really fun. I'm very excited. And also, a recap is, I would say, very much needed. Because not everyone, I'm aware, not everyone wants to play the entire game. So thank you to LexCat for making this as well. Mods, if you could spam the link to their channel and everything, that'd be fantastic. Just so you guys can go watch the video on your own as well. I would highly recommend it, just so that that. But anyway, yeah, so this will be that. Also, quick little updates. I think Friday and maybe Saturday, I'll be doing the Nuzlocke for the Point Crow tournament with my coach as well. So it'll be really really fun. I'm very excited. So I think that'll be on Friday, and those streams might start a little bit earlier as well, but that'll probably be happening. But anyway, we've got this though. We've got this. Please tell me you've been training. I've done a lot of research. But I think the best way to learn is just by doing it. So that's what we're gonna be doing on Friday. But today we're gonna be reacting to this. Like I said, I'm very excited. I've heard only good things about this video, and I don't know. I really really appreciate when like people like put in like the sort of like effort to make stuff like this as well. So I want to make sure that I show that appreciation as well, because it's like, this is really cool, and it's really sweet to have like a video made about the stuff that I do. So that's really cool. It's very very cool. I'm very excited to watch it. So let's just hop right into it. Honestly, let's do it. Let's hope that the sound works. Okay, it works. We're good. Are you distracted? No, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I am being watched. Hi, everyone. said it versus the roles I captured by a camera. I don't know. When I was to Australia, equally fascinated by you. He sees you. Oh wow, this is just gonna be like me going, oh, for like 50 minutes. Also, everything about you. That's heat. That's good. That's good. I like that. I fuck with that.
If you step into his office, you'll find you are no longer in Generation 1, the world in which companies like Showfall Media exist, and where Hex conducted his production of the social experiments. That tape has been ejected now. We all have been left with a dark screen. And
sorry. I'm just like, I am just gonna have to like, just kind of sit here and just go, ah, cool. Just the whole time.
Reflection of our surroundings, the world outside of the show. After all, for something to be fictional, there has to be a reality somewhere. If only it were easier to tell where that might be.
If only.
Well,
man, I don't fucking know.
Welcome to Generation Zero, to the real story, the world of the founder and the origins of it. Are you ready to hear it?
Sorry, this is to me.
Don't you worry. You don't have to say goodbye forever. The founder's got you covered with something to make the transition a little smoother.
That is true.
He has a fondness for that generation after all, and it would be a waste to just toss it aside. Especially when a physical copy is a fantastic means of preservation.
That is true,
After its premiere, you could buy a copy of the Founder's Cut to revisit Generation 1 anytime on your very own VCR. It came with a few Easter eggs, such as a trailer for Color Compilation Reaction Part 2. It features a very live
Fun fact, that was genuinely, like, that was fully, what's the word, the editor Spike's idea, who made the original, like, color reaction compilation. Because I don't know if I told you guys how viral color compilations started. Was it literally started as a bit I think we made up on like the first dress rehearsal, because we were like, what is Charlie gonna do during his stream? And I was just like, what if he just fucking reacted to colors, like, and that was it, like, and just made like slop content for a bit. And that's what he did. And it remains like, I think that bit and like Generation 1 are like equal in just terms of just how popular they are, because I think that bit just kind of like transcended the stream, which I think is really funny. But yeah, no, so that one was all Spike's idea, to have a viral color compilation too. Yeah. And then he declared he would put his left nut on the J key. No, because he purposely during this bit would say the most insane thing before I got him to try to break me every single time. Like he would just say something about just random like bullshit that he would say on stream just to try to make me crack every single time. It was so funny.
One you might find wandering the streets today, a lone survivor trying to make sense of what happened to him when no one believes him. The tape was also specially designed to keep him, the less active, we'll say, hero, with us. Where would the authenticity, the craftsmanship of human emotions be if his spirit isn't there with every rewind? I may have heard a rumor that his heart is still beating or something too.
Yeah,
the Founder's Cut VHS also gave us another opportunity to come together as an audience. For the next piece of the story, we had to open a door that required 4 keys hidden within the tapes. That is, 4 different VHS variants were embedded with either the letters BEG, INN, or ING. Or
cool as fuck, by the way, gotta say. Cool as fuck.
When scanned, the code led to a new website called thefoundergame.com.
Gotta give it to me on that one. Cool as hell.
Password made up of the remaining keys spelling out beginning. After 10,000 entries of the password, with the metaphorical theater seats being filled, the Founder's Game began. Now, spoiler warning from this point on, if you haven't played through the game yet, or you didn't know it existed, pause this, open the game in another tab. I personally prefer the desktop, laptop formatting, and go through it at least once.
You got it.
It is an interactive, choose-your-own-adventure narrative with such a cool aesthetic and story, and it is absolutely worth experiencing firsthand without spoilers. Okay, are we good?
Hold on, let me make it so that you guys can actually see the subtitles. Let me move my big ol' head here. There we go, okay.
Awesome, that's what we're here for. The Founders game is played on a CRT-style TV, the same we've seen all throughout the series so far. The player awakes in a concrete room loosely attached to a wire. Before them stands the same style of door first teased back in March of 2023. Peering through, they catch a glimpse of a tall man in a black lab coat passing.
The door teased in 2023, in which I think that door went through like 3 different meanings behind the scenes before we landed on, oh wait, this actually works a lot better. Like, I think genuinely that door went through like 3 different things that it meant until we were like, okay, here's actually what the public meaning is going to be. Because originally it was for something else, and then I was like, wait, I'm going to change it, and I changed it again, and then it was for that. Because I had like, sometimes I'll tease things and then the entire story will change, and I'm like, what do I do with this? Because that's the tough thing about making, you know, a especially just like, you know, just fucking going at an analog horror and everything. It's just like sometimes you'll just tease something and then the story will change because you'll come up with something better, and then you're stuck with like, okay, what do I do with this? But thankfully everything teased has a meaning, and I am not doing that anymore. I'm not just gonna release random shit without at least knowing 100% that that's what it's gonna be for. But yeah, it was really funny to just like go through those entire different things. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway,
they leave and begin to wander through a seemingly endless hallway lined in identical doors. There are papers along the wall that you can't understand.
Sorry, wait, was that not in the game? Because I do not remember. Oh yeah, it was made by someone else. That's sick. That's really cool, actually. I fuck with that. I haven't seen this art before, but I fuck with it. I like it. That's cool as hell. I like, genuinely, I was like, wait, did we make this? I didn't remember it. Oh man, subs are blocking the art credit. Oh shoot. Egg, can you move this up? Or actually, should I just turn off the overlay, do we think, for this? Yeah, okay. I think I'll just turn off the overlay for this. Yeah, I can move it. Okay, never mind. Egg's gonna move it. So yeah, but that art is by
doors. There are papers along the wall that
Nalouhh. Thank you.
Behind each door, a different sound emanates. Some scenes are strangely familiar. As you look through one window, you are met with the victim of T_2.
I don't know how the fuck it happened, but like the fact that like, because this was a glitch, but for this scene, it for some reason had the like, I completely don't know how this happened, but it had the like description. It had the description of like what it meant behind it instead of like just showing it. Like it was really fucking strange. It just had the entire description being like, which means that they are dead. And I was just like, well, that's just not supposed to be there, actually. So, yeah, I had to kind of make a rule that it's like, whenever something is in it and then it changes, just discard that last thing, actually.
They sit in front of a camera with a white box censoring their head, implying they have yet to be killed.
Yeah.
Maybe this sets our time frame as sometime around February 2023 in real-world time. At the end of an impossibly long hallway, a man and several screens sit behind a lone wooden door, studying disturbing footage.
Shout out that guy.
Were playing over and
Shout
over.
out that guy, dude.
Unfortunately, you can't discern the footage before the door is blown shut, and your fear encourages you to walk away. If the player chooses to stand still before exploring, however, they can hear the disembodied sounds of pistons and gears faintly against the silence.
That's crazy.
The chapter's routes converge as the player follows a misleading exit sign. Here, a familiar voting system is reintroduced. We could investigate the lab, or the door labeled holding cell B. The latter, winning the majority vote, led us to an enclosure with a mechanical monster at the start of Chapter 2.
I like that guy.
Can't seem to see us behind the glass, but many wondered if it had any connection to Generation 1's security monster. The player then approaches a red door. But just before opening it, they are knocked unconscious and awake once more, this time in front of the orb.
The orb!
Wait a second. The orb? Like this weird red thing? the one behind the dumpster, and the other Generation Lost browser game that transported the hero, who we controlled, into the tape of Gen 1 before the show began, that may have distorted the world and served as a portal that ended everything, that prompted the existence of absolutely gorgeous designer fashion.
I'm this fuck-ass ball.
Surely we're not guiding another real person to their doom, right? Well, this story doesn't open up on a couch in a cabin. Rather, you find yourself awakening at a desk in a high school classroom for a new
We didn't have this in the game either, actually.
After school slash...
Dude,
Your name
shout
is
out, dude. Shout out Egg for that fucking banger of a title screen, though. For After School Slash. Like, oh, shit was so good.
Senior at LF High, you have made quite a name for yourself in the last 4 years. You've had many achievements on and off the field. A model student. The perfect life.
Yeah.
Ben finds that he fell asleep during his last period class. Everyone has left for the day, stranding him with doodles of a robot on his biology notes. Instantly an interesting combination.
Wild.
Even more interesting, though, are the initials LF. If you remember, at the Gen Lost VidCon panel in 2023, Rambu teased a graphic reading Generation Zero, The Story of Lost Field. Lost Field as a concept predates even Generation 1 as one of the first ideas Rambu publicly brainstormed for the series. Although that title has yet to return, it may not be a stretch to theorize that Ben's school is in fact Lost Field High. Just a theory for now, though. Ben's not too concerned about being left behind, but he doesn't intend on staying long. He doesn't want his parents to think anything crazy has happened to him. Besides, it's unnaturally dark outside. His watch is broken, and the silence is
more just
unsettling.
more just
smart
ARPANET.
thing to do
What the
would
hell?
be to leave right away and go home.
That's true.
I mean, there's the word exit written in pure white bold text right in the middle of the screen. But like, exploring the school at night while it's empty sounds kinda sick. It would be a waste not to take that opportunity, true, right? Doesn't the audience want to explore this new world too? You can be reasonable and choose exit, but after doing it, you are immediately brought to the end of chapter voting screen. Are you just gonna miss out on all of that unseen content? Why not at least check out the bathroom first? Maybe make sure your hair isn't too messy after the nap. It's quite a crazy wall in there, though, with etchings all over it, like a little crown, the Generation Lost symbol, and the word, or maybe name, 0. More notably, there's your reflection. The same old you. But why go to the bathroom when you could check out the principal's office and get
what's the word? The entire thing behind the same old you bathroom bit was just straight up. I was like, I love the thing in I loved the thing in Undertale where you would just like, you know, check that mirror once at the beginning of the game and once at the end of the game, and I was just like, what if we just did that but more? And so we did. Straight up. It was good. I was like, what if you just did that but more, actually?
I'm a leftover Halloween candy. The path tree does diverge at the locked office door, though. As Ben tries to open it, the glass trophy case behind him shatters. Investigating leads to Ben having quite an existential but beautifully written moment. You can ignore the sound and try the door again, but still, the narration seems a little biased to get you to inspect the case. But a final persistent attempt causes the handle to snap off, allowing you inside.
Yay!
All of that effort wasn't for nothing. The principal's PC turns on. On its screen is a single file labeled 134532-8/13.mp3, or an MP3 from approximately 1:45 p.m. on August 13th. It causes the secretary's voice to play, albeit distorted, through the loudspeaker.
Hey, to the principal's office.
Ben doesn't think much of it, more worried about breaking the door or being caught, but this audio file is incredibly important. You may recall that at the end of the Founder's Cut, there's a post-credits conversation between someone referred to as Miss Rhodes and a presumed psychiatrist or therapist providing her with treatment. Rhodes, who asked to be called 0, is undoubtedly the author of the journals in Chronicle 0.
We don't know
I talked about it a bit more in my last video, so for a surface-level recap, Chronicle 0 was a story formatted through text posts on Twitter. It followed a high school student named...
Chronicle 0 was one of those ones where it was like... Chronicle 0 is one of those ones where I kind of was like, okay, Gotcha. Like it was one of those. Okay, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think about how I say this because I don't want to spoil anything. But like it was one of those where it was originally kind of meant to be like a really like sort of quick thing. But then I expanded upon it a lot more. And that's all I'm gonna say. It was one of those things where it was meant to just be like, kind of like I had like a really fast ending to it, and then I was kind of like, oh, wait a second, hold on, let's figure this out. And so, yeah, that's all. That's all I'm gonna
Zero
say.
Roads, likely sometime around the 1990s, with each post serving as a journal entry. Much like other Genloss content, it also featured audience integration through polls. It's implied throughout that Zero went through a traumatic experience, an
What?
accident, which gained her a negative reputation.
Nah, that's crazy.
Someone named Mary, possibly the psychiatrist from the clip of the session, provided Zero with a
What?
journal to write down her thoughts. Her entries shift,
Yeah.
however, from her frustrations in daily life to documentations of the strange, vivid dreams and supernatural experiences she begins to have. Zero is reluctant to use the journal at all, but someone changes her mind. Her best friend named Jay. Jay, a
Best
lover
friends.
of the supernatural, is always written to be very goofy and supportive of Zero. In fact, on August 13th, Zero wrote about Jay. She fell asleep in class, had a weird dream, and woke up screaming, landing her in detention. Jay
which
stood
is
outside.
which is such a funny thing to be get landed in detention for, by the way. Like obviously there's more context to that, but just like the basic of it is just kind of really funny. It's just wake up screaming and they get put in detention. Oh man.
The door window, trying to be funny
It's
without
funny.
getting caught. And Ben finds an audio file of someone named Jay being called to the principal's office on August 13th.
Wow.
I guess Jay got caught. Both take place within Generation Zero, but this could imply that the three of them attend the same school. I
What the
almost
fuck?
wonder if Zero's dream had anything to do with.
Gay high school is not in Generation Zero, by the way. Want to just cut that one off before it happens. There's no gay high school. All right, LF High is not gay high school. That's all I'm gonna say.
With Ben's story. Unfortunately, even after his explorations or straight up choosing to leave, Ben is unable to just walk out of the door. A glitching figure called the Red One catches his
What?
attention
Who's that
instead,
guy?
beckoning him to the end of the
Shout
hallway.
out the red one.
The audience is left to vote whether to follow it or run. Curiosity won, and Ben follows who I will refer to from now on as just Red through the hallways
That's
to
fair.
a
It's a
second
lot
exit.
to say.
But the room begins to shake, Ben's senses fail him, and the lockers begin to spew a black substance before crashing together. Red vanishes, and Ben runs for.
That's just something that I always loved in like horror movies where they would just like randomly just have just black ooze just boosh. Like every single time. It would be so funny because it's just like there's no reason for it. It's just boosh, black ooze right out of there. Ben
his
Stiller,
life
what are you
as
doing
something
here?
rattles the door. The player investigates throughout for another exit or method
That's
of
a
handling
big-ass
whatever
gym.
is watching from
Holy
outside.
moly.
Red tries to help Ben out a science lab window, only to be replaced by a massive monster trying to grab him.
Ugh.
Ben finds an exit past
Love
an
the
amusement
monster.
park set in the theater, but it is boarded up. Although not an exit, there's also the storage room where another familiar object lies. A fortune teller
I'm
machine
gonna be
with
so honest. I think this is genuinely out of all of the public characters that I have made, I think that this is like genuinely one of my favorite ones. Like I think that this is genuinely like one of my favorite fucking ones that I've ever made, honestly. Like cuz they absolutely nailed the design of them as well. And it's like it's just I just love it. I love it so much, dude.
which got his own solo video on the Genloss YouTube channel. It repeats the same dialogue spoken in said video, then after Ben presses the button, looks directly at you. Alright guys, I'm not a professional voice actor, bear with me here.
You know this will kill you. You're chasing someone else's dream. You are losing everything.
Damn. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to release more of this fucking story. I gotta say. Because I'm like, there's so much that I want to like, because that's why, at the end of the day, that's kind of why I make things, especially with like generation loss, is because of the fact that I love like being like, oh, look at this, you know. But there's so many things that I'm now just kind of sitting there, just like, oh, that's gonna be so good. That's going to be good.
In the process. What is it all for? The hope of salvation.
Damn.
The hope to do what you believe you are meant to be doing.
Damn.
What is it that you even want anymore? Is this even for you? Who is this for? Answer me. Please.
You leave the room.
That's good.
As you make your way out, you hear the machine.
See you soon. Good luck.
All of that will come back later on.
That's true. It will.
Ultimately, it's fleeing the lab which progresses the story, and you eventually meet the janitor.
Oh,
He
shout out the
feels
janitor.
sort of a fatherly archetype, providing Ben with much-needed exposition and a sense of safety. About once a week, he says, a monster tries to break into the high school. The janitor boards up and locks the doors and windows to keep him out.
I get so excited over here, like rehearing my own shit that I write. Because I'm like, I love the fucking concept of like this school stays open while this is happening, and they're just like, yeah, once a week this like monster tries to break in, and we still have classes. But we just kind of leave it to this janitor guy. It's been happening long enough that like we just have this janitor guy, and it's so funny, dude. Oh man.
Because in true American high school fashion, the city didn't want to do anything because of money and reputation reasons. Except the monster gets in, and it is bigger and stronger than the janitor anticipated. And he meets his demise trying to defend Ben as Chapter 4 opens.
Oh. I remember the first time I saw that GIF. I watched it like I think like 20 times. Like it was so
he meets
like
his demise trying to defend Ben as Chapter 4 opens.
I couldn't
the player
believe it.
tries
It was
to
so
help
good.
Ben escape once more through the gym, either by unblocking an exit barricaded with gym equipment or by hiding under the bleachers. But it's an illusion of choice. Both options lead to Ben being discovered and
An illusion of choice in generation loss. That's crazy. What?
violently killed by the monster. And then it's game over.
Damn.
Yet, Ben wakes up again in the same classroom perfectly fine. Nothing has changed. You almost forgot this was just a video game and you could just hit the respawn button.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, I thought I said he was taking biology notes, not history ones. And your teacher definitely had a pet lizard, not a turtle. The lockers were blue, not purple. The pep rally posters are now for clubs. The bathroom sinks are sticky for some reason. The graffiti on the walls is different aside from the symbol. And oh my god, Ben, what the hell happened to your hair? The image of him is darker, a little bit lower quality too. Almost like all of the details have started to be distorted in this playthrough. Or dare I say copy, like a tape going through generation loss.
Whoa.
I guess you could call him.
God, that fucking.
Yes, I'm gonna apologize for that one.
That
In my
fucking
defense,
thing.
I thought it was funny. Anyway, who cares if he's
Dude, fucking
disintegrating?
veneration
We got more
loss.
content! Yay! You can try to break into the suspiciously unfamiliar computer lab and ignore the narrator's pressure to leave. There you'll find a single active computer prompting a password entry, but you have nothing to enter. Or you can leave and stumble across the janitor's body in a pool of his own blood.
Classic.
You can run endlessly and find yourself dizzy in the dark, back where you started as if you weren't meant to make it that far. Some discoveries might confirm those suspicions. After wandering your
Sorry,
halls-
I love the fucking like just floating desks. It's just like, oh, it's great. It's good. I enjoy it, but it's just really funny to me where it's just like, yeah, they're just up there. Shit's fucked. Like you got floating desks, man. It's not good.
Your history teacher who seems a little bit off. She's conveniently placed, but she won't answer your questions or take you seriously until the monster finds you. And whether you choose to hide or fight like the majority picked, you are killed at the start of Chapter 5.
Yep.
And you wake up in the same classroom, at the same desk, panicked and nauseous. There's a robot on your math notes. There are less desks around you. Your teacher has a pet python now, the lockers are orange, and your sense of deja vu
This
is
whole reaction is just
overwhelming.
me giggling to myself.
The
I'm gonna be
eyes
so
of your
real.
same old, yet fearful, distorted reflection in the mirror restore your memory. The
God.
janitor, your own deaths, you need to leave.
Sorry, that alarm like genuinely started freaking me out. I know that in when we end up doing the Patreon in a little bit, I know that we're gonna be I know that we have some of the like unpixelated art to show. Because I know that there's some art in here where it was kind of like I literally had to be there and just be like, "Damn, I wish that we could show more detail from it." But it just wouldn't fit. But it's like that because I think that one looks really fucking cool. And there's a lot of them that just look really really cool, but I wanted to keep the kind of like thing. Yeah, I've still got everything. Yeah. So, hey, when that Patreon comes out for early adopters, you'll be getting definitely a lot of fucking Founders game shit that we have not shown yet. So,
But you're trapped in your classroom now. Hands burst through the windows reaching for you. No matter how many times you try to climb through the ceiling, the darkness where red
it was really fun to write a like just kind of like a stereotypical like school slasher because I literally just the way that I like the way that like I like gave ideas for scenes was literally I would just think like what are things that I've liked when they happen in like horror media. And one of them is just hands coming through the walls. I just like when there's a lot of hands going through the walls. And so I was just able to put it in just hands in the walls. Why not? It was great.
silhouette watches you. You find yourself back where you started.
And once again, shout out Egg, shout out Egg for real for being the one to fucking like make sense of a lot of my shit because there's so many times, especially with writing this too, where I'd literally just be like, hey, I have this idea, and then they would just be like, okay, wait, what are we gonna do with that? I was like, I don't know. We can fit it somewhere though, right?
The door is locked. That is, until a red blur flies by and lets you out. Once again, you aimlessly run through the halls, searching for an escape as the monster hunts you. Lockers upon lockers and posters for clubs that never existed. Your history teacher's mutilated corpse is stuffed in your locker.
Yeah,
There's a red
that's
book
fair.
you cannot
That's
open.
fair. That one, that visual was one where I was like, I just really wanted to have a good like, because I'm gonna be so real. Like, I think Generation One, in just terms of like, just I feel like Generation One in terms of just horror is probably going to be the least. Like, is going to be the least out of probably the entire series. Like, there's going to be a lot more intense stuff like coming with it. Because I'm like I'm someone where I'm like I don't like unnecessary gore in a way, but I'm also like if someone dies, I want to make sure they do it in a cool way. You know what I mean? Like if someone dies, I want to make sure that it gives you like an icky feeling, especially too. Because it's like, if it was just like a random, like, body, like, kind of shoved into a locker in a way, right? It would be kind of like, all right, it's still scary and everything. But I feel like because of the fact that it is, like, your teacher that is, like, shoved into a locker in that way, it makes it just a lot more, just a lot more impactful than, like, just, random shit. So, yeah. So, it's a balance. It's a balance for sure.
In the library. The exit you know to be real is a sealed wall. Trails of blood lead to a locked room labeled greenhouse. The science lab only gives you more questions. Still, the room is worth investigating. Atop the desk of some teacher you're unaware of is a book called String Theory and Parallel Universes. There's a storage closet in the room too. Inside sits a TV hooked up to a VCR surrounded by stacks of tapes. Their film has been ripped from the case, cut up, and stuck back together with adhesive tape. The desk and closet can only be investigated individually unless you replay the chapter, but they are without a doubt connected. TVs and VHS tapes are of course the main technology used by the founder to tell his stories.
What?
The tapes are presumably individual worlds such as that of Showfall, and the TVs are their hosts. If someone is messing around with VHS film while studying parallel universes, they have to know something about the founder's creations. At the very least, they are aware of the existence of multiple worlds being manipulated and or suspended within the tapes. I don't believe the setup was created by the founder himself, though. He always seems to take a backseat, serving as a director or writer, but never an actor. He'll employ someone like Hetch to create sets and play the villain. So whose room is this? Well, Red appears in the science lab too, heading straight for the desk. He frantically searches through books and papers for something and is too focused to notice you until Ben runs into something for like the 20th time and sprints out of it. He has every reason to be afraid, but
fair.
notice how throughout the entire game so far, Red has never actively hurt Ben. If
What?
anything, the monster's horrible timing is only framed right to be
That's
harmful.
crazy.
He seems to know the school surprisingly well and has helped Ben out more than once. It's interesting that his form is so ghostly as well, always glitching and being mostly a silhouette. Man, if only we got to see him in a more normal context. What? No way! Update from the Genlost BTS account. Look at this little guy with a hat and glasses just trying to eat his sandwich. He looks just like a teacher. We'll revisit that. Ben is still trapped, however, and
fuck-ass
rightfully
doodle.
pissed about the exit being fake.
I forget where the hat came from. I'm gonna be so real. I forget where the hat came from, but he got a hat somehow, and we were like, that actually fucks. Like, I forget where the hat came from, but like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, it just looks better. It just looks better when he has a little hat. It's just straight up.
He's desperate to get out.
It was on my original concept art, I think. Gotcha. Okay. Because like, yeah. Okay. He's had the hat for a while. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, because like that's like I said. I was like, I forget the reasoning for the hat. Like I think well, there is a reasoning for the hat, but I don't want to say it. Like but it's just funny how he just has a hat.
By any means. He finds himself at the shattered trophy case and picks up a shard, confident that dying is merely a reset button. The audience votes for him to keep going, though, to keep looking for another way out into Chapter 6, sparing him from a death at his own hands and maybe another level of distortion, too. But wandering only puts him back in the hall where he started, and where things are still just as broken, if not more, than before.
Yeah.
And Ben is killed by the monster again.
Oof.
Now
What
you wake up on the floor with an
Ooh.
opportunity to follow the monster
God.
into the greenhouse. While
I
hanging
love the art
inside,
for this.
It takes a second for your eyes to adjust.
I find it so funny though, because especially because it's been a second since I've like familiarized myself with like the Founders game again, but it's just really funny because I'm like me when the art that I like, you know, specifically asked for and approved. When I like the art that I specifically asked for and approved, like, whoa, that art looks really good. I really like that. That's exactly what I like. And I'm like, oh wait, that's right, because it's fucking, because you know, because of the fact that we fucking worked on it.
To the dimly lit area.
So good.
But when they do, you find a pair of lifeless eyes looking right back at you. The face is mangled and broken, but you know those eyes. You look around for more clues and find your jacket attached to a body that is nearly cut in half. You slip on your own blood and are pursued by the monster once more. No matter what room you choose, Ben is murdered in a gruesome scene, and his remains are dragged back to the greenhouse. There's something inorganic about the monster. It seems to be able to track you down like a robot. And even when alive, there's very little left of Ben. This time, when you wake up again, it won't be in the high school you know.
I like it.
You won't even be sure that it's real. It is as though you have been broken so many times beyond repair that you aren't even in the right world anymore. That or your perception of the world around you is not reality. It's not surprising, though. A person's body and psyche can only handle so much.
But
and
it's true, but what if
Ben
it handled
is a
more?
Star football player, he is still just a 17 or 18-year-old kid. Despite the founder's obsession with infinity, all of his actors have a limit on the amount of times they can be unraveled and put back together again. It's possible Ben exceeded that threshold and it caused his reality to break entirely. He finds himself waking up in one of 5 locations. A hallway, in front of a mirror, in an arcade, in a forest, or at a carnival.
Sorry, I remember that
that
face in the arcade gets me like every single time. It just freaks me out, dude.
with some paths being more rare than others. Compared to the first three, the forest and carnival routes have non-sequential URLs. Not only does this emphasize something different about them, but I think they're the most interesting
They are
too.
pretty interesting.
The school hallway is pretty straightforward, despite how it endlessly spirals ahead. An evacuation message repeats itself through a glitching intercom. Within the lockers, you just keep finding the same students and the same photos. A photo of 3, a photo of 2, a photo of 1, repeating every single time. Could it be the founder back when he was younger, or some students he took in? Maybe Zero, Jay, and one of their friends? One idea I'm throwing out there without any super solid evidence is maybe Ben was the third person. Zero accidentally took his life in the accident, leaving just her and Jay, and then just Zero later on. Ben was popular and the school body loved him, so her taking his life, accident or not, gained her the negative reputation. Then Ben was repurposed by the founder. I'm honestly not sure how plausible this is again, but I'm just throwing it out, and it's my guess for now, I'd say. In the second route, mirrors cover every wall and surface like a maze. It's the same old you, but lots of you.
Lots of the
They
same
don't
old
respond correctly, however, and you can see your form distorting before your eyes. It's as though you are dissolving away. One of them, the mirrors, has to be a door, you think, and you search until you are physically exhausted. The only way out is to shatter your reflection. The arcade seems pretty welcoming at first.
Woo!
It's filled with chiptune music, kids, and yet games you
Shout out
don't
Home 3.
recognize at all. All of them have a horror theme too. There are disembodied
Shout out
eyes,
Shout out
creepy
Home 3.
faces, and
That's
a
one of my
missing
favorite
poster.
ones.
You try to ask for help, but no matter how hard you try to get someone's attention, you
So
are
funny,
unable to
dude.
make yourself known. They only speak about the game. I keep playing this level over and over. Something has to give, right?
What? That one was one where it was like when that one was made, it was just one that was just like, that's so funny.
It's an interesting quote. Maybe it's advice for the audience. One machine catches your attention. You walk to the machine and stop just short of its controls. Flashing on the screen is a missing poster above a press to start. You reach for a button, and as you start to press it, your vision goes black. The quiet of wherever you are is interrupted by a voice. This one isn't for you. Again, that
How come
same
I got
bolded
goosebumps?
white
What the
text.
fuck?
In the supposed fourth route, you're finally outside looking at the moon in a lifeless
How
forest.
come I got goosebumps from
The
that
trees
one?
ahead of you in the graphic are almost glitching. The Genlaw symbol is etched into a tree, and there's a faint red glow in one direction. It leads you to a journal, also with a symbol on its cover, shoved into a tree. You just barely get to touch it. This one isn't for you. After all, you weren't the one who dreamed about a wreck in the forest or a symbol on a tree. That was Zero Roads on August 15th in her last entry before the account went silent. Maybe it was her car and body obscured by the static. Finally, you may find yourself at a carnival not too different from the set in your theater. There's nothing you can do or interact with no matter where you look here, though. Every game or ride is inaccessible. You can't even find the stars. But a familiar voice finds you from within a polished version of the fortune teller machine from before. Oh, but it's fine. You don't have to interact. You don't really have the time to press the button and listen to whatever monologue it wants to give, do you?
I think you do.
You stop in your tracks and turn back around.
I know you really do want to hear this, but I'm glad you explored your options.
The fortune teller stares blankly.
That was so funny. Oh man. Yeah. I forget if it was because what's the word? Because Egg was a co-writer for this. And I forget who came up with that bit. But I remember that I think that's one of my favorite bits in this is when you choose not to listen to the monologue and we just have that thing of like, oh, okay, so you're just doing everything. Okay, let's have you listen though. Because it's like, I know you fucking do. I know you want to hear it. I find that so funny.
So you, the player, likely hit the back arrow on your browser and try out the second option. You listen, and the fortune teller speaks.
He is the end,
and the beginning.
I love Jesus.
Do you ever wonder why everything is happening like this? Or why this damn thing keeps appearing every single time? Or why everyone but me seems to just ignore this? It's not just that. It was never just that. You don't get it. This isn't for me or for you. It is for everyone here. This is important. What I do is finally important.
Damn, poor guy.
The figure springs to life again. Its familiar tone returns. Nothing happened this time. Almost like you were meant to see this. Your vision goes black.
Glad I think it was
This
you.
one isn't for you.
Ugh.
Are you paying attention? You, the player.
Sorry.
Haven't we
I
been
love this
here
shit.
before? Games, glowing red orbs, protagonists searching
What?
for a way out, but the exit is never real. Is the creator of a false world a god or a monster? Does it matter? That symbol intrigues you and you are drawn to it. Are you any different than Hetch? He too
Yeah,
loves
guys.
a good story, so much so
It's
he
your
named
fault.
himself after that symbol of creation. You love the art, the tragedy, the show. You want to hear the story. So you test every option and do what you can to progress no matter the consequences. But those consequences are catching up to us. The 5 paths converge in a dark
man.
void. Random things float around you. Glass shards, lockers, leaves, coins. But we know where they came from. Before Ben can discern, he finds Red in front of him, beckoning him to follow once more. What else is there to do but go with him? Ben asks where they're going and hears no reply. But you can, if you choose to listen. Starting on page 6-11-0, the scene in the void, open up your Inspect Element tab.
Yeah.
Look a little deeper. User Rainchirp on Twitter discovered that Red hasn't been ignoring us at all. Come, follow me. The figure leads you through the blinding darkness and debris. It apologizes to Ben. I'm sorry you got caught in this. I don't know if you can even hear me right now. Where is it leading you? Away from here. Out of here. The figure stops in front of a red orb. It looks familiar, but like nothing you've ever seen before. We're here. Ben joins his side. He is entranced by the orb, so much so he doesn't even realize how close he is to Red. Red, who doesn't try to hurt him, who is knowledgeable enough to lead this kid through an abyss, to find him in the school. Do you know what that means? Guys, he's real! Finally, we have someone who can give us the answers, not a character following a script who knows only as much as they've been programmed to know. Someone who isn't with, or working under, or even controlled by the founder. Red, this savior character who tried on multiple occasions to help Ben escape the school, who found him at the end of 5 different hellscapes, is finally within our reach to contact back. And I say back because he has to be the interfering voice speaking to us before in all of the YouTube videos between the social experiments up to the game's launch. The faint text in the bottom corner of again, the person writing in T_3, which I know, scary red text, it's gotta be the founder, right? Not necessarily. Look at what he's saying. It's all the warning, a signal trying to reach us to figure out the founder's plan despite knowing we can't respond. The person is scared, like a regular human being would be. I don't know if it is aware of me. I have seen things that don't seem possible. I've seen people that there are no record of, but they must exist. I don't know if you can even see this, if this is even working. I need to show you what they have done. I don't know what it is for, but I will find a way to stop it. I have to. All while the screen glitches error. Red is a glitchy guy, and the messages that flash earlier in the video, run, leave, turn around, open, hide, etc. are all options in the Founders game. I get it. You're probably thinking that this is exactly what Hetch did. He pretended to hack into a broadcast, pretended to be a savior, and he was the one who led Rambu's character to the orb. He killed him. How can we trust Red after that? Unless we could talk to him. But we can talk to him right here, right now, at the end of Chapter 6, in front of the orb. Ben can either touch it or wait, and if he holds off for just a second, we, the audience, might actually have a shot at saving him with Red. Ben would likely ask something like, "Oh, what is this?"
Football! It's a football!
More about how to defeat the founder. We can know why this thing keeps showing up, what the
He
fortune
just
teller
really likes
means.
football.
Maybe Red even knows what it is.
Every Generation
It's the
Lost character
perfect
just
chance.
really
It's
loves
everything
football.
we've been waiting for. So surely everyone in the fan base decided to vote not to touch the weird-ass magic meatball.
God, yeah.
87% voted to touch it. There are bones in the teaser. I think that is a goddamn spine. And there's a cipher translating to look what you've done.
Oh, man.
Lovely.
That was fun.
Chapter 7. We had to wait an extra week for this one.
That is true.
I don't blame the majority for giving in to their curiosity. The premise of the series runs on us always choosing to progress in the story. You put a glowing red object in front of someone and they're gonna want to poke it.
Looks squishy.
I doubt most players even knew about the hidden messages in the source code. Still, knowing there could have been even the tiniest sliver of hope in some absolute best case scenario makes this chapter all the more dread-inducing. Is it comforting or worse?
If there's anything to take from, like, I would say, like, just the Founders game in general, it is that, like, while not completely necessary to understand the story, interaction between the community and the fan base is going to be very important in the series. And that's all I'm gonna say. So it's like while it's like you'll still be able to understand the story without it, it also means that, you know, with some things like cooperation and like interaction in that way is going to be kind of integral to a lot of things. And this was sort of teasing that and just kind of like, you know, kind of seeing how it would go, and it went kind of how we expected with some of them. There's a lot of times where genuinely like I think we would write something and be like, this is most likely what's going to get chosen. and we were right. It was fun. But yeah.
We probably had no control anyway. You wake up in a large concrete room. A light fixture swings from the ceiling, although most of the lights are burnt out. You don't rub your eyes or check your notes. You simply look at a scratched up desk with a label reading Ben. You are unfamiliar with that name.
We were totally funneling
Okay,
people
no,
in a certain
hold on.
direction
Are we
sometimes.
back?
Absolutely we were. Absolutely we were. That's kind of like the entire motto of that's kind of the entire motto of, like, at least, like, you know, some things that we've made is just straight up like, you know, an audience is as easy to manipulate as the actors are. Straight up, like like that's the thing. Like, yeah, like the audience is straight up like as like easy to manipulate as the actors are, and we're straight up telling the actors what to do, and it's like it's easy. And so it's like that's kind of the gist of it in a way.
We started. Okay, we should check the source code again for a sign of red, because it doesn't just end like that, right? Well, you don't find him, but there is something else.
This totally is just like a canon / non-canon thing. It's maybe not canon in a way, but like I just imagine like he's like the fucking red one's like expecting to, like, you know, ask like tell you guys more, and then just reaches out for the orb, and it's like, well, shit. you just boop, and it's like, what? Well, fuck.
Throughout the first pages of the chapter, hidden in the source code are all of the original scenes in the school. Except on the surface of the game, these detailed narrations are replaced with soulless robotic statements. If you choose to think, you literally stare
You're
at a
evil.
wall
I
and
just think
hear
it's funny.
gears turning. Although a wire disconnects from your arm once more, you find that the classroom window is just a wooden frame and the word window written on it. The teacher's desk is also empty. The more you explore, the more everything falls apart. You enter the steel door labeled bathroom, but the mirror is also just a wooden frame.
Just fucking
Same old
mirror.
A sparking mannequin is stuffed inside the singular functional locker with a dark liquid pooling beneath. Your history teacher, right? And that spewing black liquid? Left or right, every room is just concrete walls, dusty furniture, props, and objects incorrectly labeled with general terms.
Yeah.
Door, window, exit. Was anything real, or was it all just a bunch of mannequins and robotic arms? That's all that deadly monster seems to be anyway. A tall mannequin with a geometric mask. How could you not see it? Because something is wrong with you. Catch a strange reflection, your own, in a door window as you move, and a message on a singular monitor in the computer lab. It reads stability 0%. Test failure. You don't react though, you just blindly follow this beeping sound throughout the hallways until you find 2 bright red reinforced doors. When you knock on them, it is a loud boom that echoes through the hallways. Damn, you got strong hands, I guess. Stronger than flesh, anyway. Not the second time, equally. What is there to choose? You're coming in anyway, you hear a voice say from behind a door. You approach the doors and give them a slight push. They click in, then swing back out. The inside is dark. You slowly enter. The door slams shut behind you, submerging you in darkness. The founder will be with you shortly. And by shortly, it took this guy a week to get to his office. But yeah, I'll just introduce him or whatever. Chapter 8.
It did take him a week.
2 years since T_1, and the founder makes his first appearance being flirty as fuck. My dramatic opening to this video wasn't even me exaggerating. This guy is obsessed with us.
Oh.
What a loser. His entire monologues confirm that the letter in From the Desk of the Founder is from him to us. Congratulations if you find him hot. You got a love letter, guys. You win. And who exactly are we in this context? You're you. Wherever you are right now, doing whatever it is you're doing there. I can't answer that question for all of you. He's patronizing. Lovely. Dating simulator introduction aside, none of this game has been about Ben or his personal story. The founder says it himself. It all has been to get to know us better, to strengthen the connection so he can tell us the stories he really wants to, and so he can utilize us to help him achieve those means. We can preserve his creations in our world. That's what sets us apart from those he inducts as actors. We have an archive of YouTube videos and of course the Founder's Cut VHS tape. Dramatically put, before our involvement, everything the founder made was taken, misconstrued, misused, degraded. Everything always becomes something else. It's just how it all works here. It's been an eternity of remembering things how they once were and never really understanding what they are now.
Sorry, this is completely not canon. I just want to say, but like the way that the lines are being delivered just reminds me of fucking Rules Card. Everything always becomes. That's nowhere near canon, but I just thought that's funny.
I envy you for that reason. Enough about us. Who is he? I am the founder of everything you have seen and have yet to see. Okay, buddy. He says the details are too long and boring to actually elaborate on whatever the hell that means. The founder believes we are the real entertainment. Hedge did a good job, don't tell him that, but the founder
don't tell him that.
Fun back and forth thing we have. Oh. What he means is he likes watching us scramble to make theories and engage with every inch of content.
Egg, did we talk about the cut line? Did we release the cut line that we had? Remember the one where I was like, this is just too much to have? Yeah, you posted it on all. Okay, yeah, because there was originally a line where it was like a lot more flirtatious, but then I was just like, I feel like that just takes away from it. It was one where it was just like, I think it was like a choice in which they could like flirt or something, and then just like just him being like, what the fuck, no. But I cut it because I was like, that's a little too silly. You know what I mean? Here we go. Hold on. I'll wait for ads. I'll wait for ads. Tell them, hey, tell them I'm waiting for the ads. Don't worry, y'all. Hey, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm waiting for the ads. But yeah, no. It was originally really funny because I was just like, I remember texting and I'm just being like, is this line too much? And we just kind of both agreed like, yeah, this is a little bit too much, really. This is just a tad a little bit much. Yeah.
But you are fun to toy with from time to time. Dude, stop! Like, unless you're like a gorgeous woman or something, I mean, evil women in suits, I can allow it. But no, as far as I know, you're a William Afton child-killing robot builder-ass bitch, and I could play Minecraft parkour on that head, dude, because that's what it's shaped for. Connecting with us further on a technological and psychological sense helps the founder bridge the gap between his dreams and the reality he wants to build. But that takes time, both the creative process and getting to know us. He thinks of it like a gamble of sorts. Whether or not we're ready, he claims to be unsure of, but he's always trying to get us to come back for more with the promise of answers so long as we allow the connection to get stronger. It's how we enable him. We're not in danger, though, he assures, because we are one of his purposes. Yep. Not his one true purpose, though. Like, he can write us a letter and all that and be like, oh my god, guys, be my archive, please. But also, I have other priorities. But yeah, he wants to take care of us. We'll be spared. Okay, yeah, you want connection, I want some honest communication. Nonetheless, the founder aims to keep his upper hand. He's not afraid to break the fourth wall, calling himself out on big lore drops to expand the Genloss universe and get the community working to solve puzzles. Just thank God no one is enough of a nerd to go analyze it and put it into a YouTube video.
You may not even be reading the sentence yourself. Someone might be reading it to you.
How did he know? You know what? No, that's the final straw. You better be the founder of the $8,000 check I'm expecting on my desk tomorrow for giving you all of this advertisement and getting nothing in return. Just gotta...
That one line was specifically written in case it ever does get a summary video. that one line was literally made for the fact that if it gets a summary video, then they have to read out that line. it's so funny. Oh man, it's like genuinely like I'm so happy with that.
Gotta finish this video for the people and it'll be fine. No matter how hard we try, we can't get ahead of him. He always knows more, holds more power. In fact, he can count on us as an endless power supply. None of this would exist without you, he says. It was our choice to watch and vote and progress the story. If we didn't interact, nothing would have happened. That third option always existed, whether we sought to save the protagonist or just see how deep the rabbit hole goes. He's grateful for our participation. He holds the cards and we give them meaning.
I really like, oh shit. Hold on. I really do like, what's the word? I really do like the thing with the founder in which it's like, yeah, technically, if no one watched, like, a lot of this shit wouldn't be happening. Like, it's just like, and this isn't like, this is obviously not canon. I'm just making a joke here, but it's like the way to defeat the founder is to have him fall off, basically. Just have him fall off, pretty much. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
I don't think the founder knows shit.
Oh.
At least not nearly as much as his deception suggests.
Okay, this is interesting,
the
actually.
The founder found his canvas, the tapes, but he had yet to determine which medium specifically worked best. He was still testing out different sets as they became accessible to him. Did oil paints or colored pencils or crayons work the best? Rather, media conglomerates, micro-celebrities, high-quality production values... Each had their uses and could be added to his repertoire, but none were the missing piece. That is, until he found us, the perfect metaphorical set of paintbrushes to make his ideas and creations tangible. To really give them life. Something terrifyingly powerful and so precious to him, and yet so out of his hands. Even now, he's still experimenting. Everything leading up to this point has been research. It's been inaugural quizzes, social experiments, simulations, all to learn more about us and what the founder can and can't do without our presence.
He doesn't know his limits yet. Everything is an act.
If he can convince us that he's omnipotent and we're destined to follow his lead, that we want to, he can get all of the info he needs without us even realizing we're giving it up.
But just like with any medium, he still needs to understand how to use us to effectively communicate his ideas. We hold a lot of power in that way.
The founder admits it himself. Again, if we had not interacted with the game at all, none of the events within it would have occurred. But of course, that inaction is not that simple.
He is clearly manipulative and feeds off our love for stories.
He is
and
clearly
our love for
manipulative.
it's all fiction. Not to mention we are being misled and deceived every step of the way. But if we did manage to stop engaging, he'd be scrambling to build a new foundation. He needs us, otherwise he'll be stuck trying and failing to build something beautiful that will never form.
We get to ask him the questions in Chapter 9, and he gives plenty of
Here, someone said you're evil for eating your passing brothers makes us evil for interacting with it. Yeah. And the really funny thing is that there's still like so much about it that I giggle about that I can't share yet because that'd be spoilers. But there's a lot more about it that makes it even more funny to me. It's great. Yeah. The dilemma is kill fictional characters or stop giving Rambu Life money. I've entered myself into my own basically saw trap of sorts where it's either like will you guys be able to like be willing to, keep these fictional characters, like, going and dying and shit, or will you put me out of a job?
cryptic answers in return. He explains Generation 1's purpose in pulling us in, that the hero's remains are preserved in one way or another, and not telling us where Miss Rhodes might be quite yet. You can tell that he loves the attention and talking about his work. He explains that it's the good kind of unpredictable that inspires him. A silly analogy might be a static YouTube comment section versus a live Twitch chat he can bounce off of. In a way, the content creates itself. But he still has to keep us in check, because too much chaos and he loses control.
And not even the founder can maintain perfect composure at all times.
The audience's last question was about a password. Remember the computer lab from Chapter 4? The founder claims to have no clue what we're talking about and expresses that before he's interrupted by familiar white text.
It's not you, the player, or the founder, but someone else in the room.
Oh, you aren't supposed to... Where am I? Who are you? The first admission of something going wrong. See, this is what happens sometimes. You run them through the same thing and he tries to act like he has control over the situation. Why is my voice different? The founder tries to calm them down, but their panicking overwhelms his attempts. I apologize for this. You weren't supposed to wake like this. You weren't supposed to wake at all. He admits he doesn't understand how he lost control.
So a funny thing about this, and I'm so upset that we couldn't do this in time because it just didn't work out, but I wanted to have the voice that plays like the random white text be like voice acted in like an MP3 that would play, so that way it would be like an actual just like whoa it would be like an actual scare. But it just didn't work out in that way, sadly. But it would have been really, really fun. It would have been really fun to do. But yeah. But we just couldn't make it happen in time, sadly. But yeah, no, it's fun.
This is the bad unpredictability, dare I say. Still, the founder ignores the white text begging, why he can't move, why he sounds different, what happened to him. The founder only cares about us. We're something more. Something special, indisposable, unlike his failed creations. And those who are not so fortunate? that's how it ends.
Love that shit.
Another kid turned robotic monstrosity at our hands, given mercy
God,
only
I
through
think
death. Real death this time.
I think that was like, correct me if I again, like I said, like it's been so long, but it's like I think that scene was like the thing that like was like the thing, like one of the first things that we came up with at that point. Like that was like what I think that was like one of the first things where it was like I want to have like this happen and then have this turn. Yeah, that seems the first thing we locked in. Yeah, exactly. Like I want to have this like turn to like a mirror basically, and then like just have it be like revealed and shit. This rule was playing first. Yeah, that was like one of the first things that we came up with, like when we were like writing out like the details for the story, in a way, and it was like, oh, yeah. But yeah, no, it's yeah, it's fun. I just had a tripod and spun it around. Should I clarify with this? I feel like I should clarify with this. So, Egg, I'm good to clarify on this, right? I would say so. So this is the way that it's supposed to be, right? Is that this is a mirror. The camera is in Ben's skull here. And so that's why basically he takes him from the back and then just like rotates him around. And then there he is. So you kind of see him back in that way. So that's why like the founder's behind him and everything like that. So yeah, that's how this scene is supposed to be sort of laid out. Because you have like, you know, the mirror like thing and everything like that, and then you like, because it's like because it kind of does the thing of like, you know, you kind of realize then everything that you have seen was through this camera here. And like I feel like it was just a case of like, because the art got pixelated, it was just harder to see that. But it's like, you know, the static image of, you know, the founder was seen through there. All of that was it's all seen through this basically. Yeah, because that's something that I feel like people would have gotten if they realized that it was a mirror faster. But I think that it's just because of just how it kind of was. So yeah. Yeah. Was the one camera monster section from VHS 94 inspiration? It was something that I watched after coming up with this, actually, which was kind of funny because then I sent it and then I was like, there it is. Yeah.
Time. In his last truly conscious moments, Ben didn't even have control over his own body. There was no other way out.
Except it's still not over. That's right, there's more.
A week after this chapter's launch, there was a little update to Chapter 9. The founder didn't know the password, but the bolded red letters in his dialogue certainly do.
What?
CANYOUHEARME. Can you hear me? It's none other than Red again! Aw, this guy's so awesome. I love him. Alright, what's he got to say for us? Ben, if you can still understand me, I'm sorry I didn't find you sooner. You won't be forgotten. The connection seems to be closing. I don't know if anyone can hear me. If you can, I have only this message. I know what you're doing. I know you're out there. I don't know if you're receiving this, but I know that you have something to do with this. I will find everything you have done.
Sorry, someone just asked if we were looking through a camera, why isn't it pixelated? Because it's old. No, I mean, like, more so, I mean, I guess the explanation then would be is like, you know, obviously the type of, you know, as well as like, you know, shitty camera, but also, you know, the type of the like, I'm gonna try to say this without really like, it's technically theorizing on my own thing that I've made anyway, but it's like when you think about it, right, it's like the images load in very slowly, right? So obviously the amount of data that can be transferred in reference to this game is low, so therefore it has to be kind of pixelated and, you know, like only two colors because of the fact that like not a lot of shit can get pushed through. But yeah, it's just because of the fact that it's old, pretty much.
And have yet to do. I
And it
will
also looks
fight
cool.
until I die for those you have yet to find. The computer abruptly shuts off. You turn around to leave, almost involuntarily. The hallway is dark, only illuminated by the small amount of moonlight coming through the door windows, and the red exit sign at the end of the hallway. You should go to the exit and find your way home.
Oof.
The founder points out how none of our questions had to do with the ethics of his work. You might say it's obvious he's not a good guy, so there's no point in bringing it up. You might assume, too, that Red is talking to the founder here. It's his threat to stop him. Everything that I have done and have yet to do is a direct quote from Chapter 8. It's the founder's rhetoric Red seems to be imitating. And yet, is it the founder getting this broadcast, or is it us? Hetch's title in the social experiments was the Savior, much like Sneak was the Taken, Charlie the Spirit, and Rabu the Hero. The anniversary post switched up some of these titles, like Sneak now being the Friend and Hetch the Overseer. If there were a character, however, who should take that title of Savior, it is Red. Maybe Hetch knew of him somehow, hence why he copied his tactics and falsely took on the role. But Red shouldn't have a show title. If I'm right in putting the puzzle pieces together, Red was just a science teacher once. He had his own classroom, loved teaching, cared a lot about the kids he looked after in his class period. He did everything in his power to try to get Ben out, even after realizing it was too late to get him home, and watching the founder take another. Even so, he created a setup like a TV and an amalgamation of tapes taped together to build his own portal to interfere with Ben's simulation. If Red couldn't lead him to the exit, he'd at least help him rest. He tried his best to protect the kid, unlocking doorways, leading him through the dark. He found him at the end of every pathway and guided him to the closest thing to freedom.
This is one of those things where I just
It
have to
wasn't
be
a happy
interesting.
ending, but he knew death was kinder than the cruelty.
This is one of those
the
things where I just have
founder's
to be.
story.
Oh, I love that art so fucking much.
Red led Ben to the orb. After touching it, Ben would exit the fabricated world and be returned to what was left of his physical body. A skeleton anchored to cameras and mechanics that would serve as a vessel to explore a pre-designed set. He would wake up, truly this time, and speak for himself, not just clues in white text of what he wanted, to go home, or a narrator speaking for him. It wasn't his own voice, but he was loud enough to break the founder's facade. The only way to maintain control was to put Ben to rest, so that's what the founder did, freeing him in the end thanks to Red. So is Red speaking to the founder?
Damn.
Maybe, but he's talking to us too. The founder is behind the screen, behind the source code. He can't read it, but we can. Willingly or not, we are helping the founder take victims and push them past what their humanity can handle. We have a part in this. Even though many of us tried to save Ben by picking the right choices, our engagement only sustained his hellscape. What do we do then? Do we just walk away and let the founder's creations fade into obscurity? That wouldn't stop him. Surely he'd still find someone to be his audience.
That's true.
Besides, the heart of the facility still beats. Charlie wanders the streets in a body that is hardly his own anymore. The puzzler, being an older model, would have malfunctioned over time, if not exploded. Chances are Ben was a test subject to create the technology of Generation 1. Zero is also still a target of the founder. Machines like security exist, like those in the holding cell in Lab 2. We are in too deep now to back out. The question remains, though, if investigating is our only way to learn more, do the ends justify the means? If Zero is the next to die, is her sacrifice worth it? If Red does what he claims to do, he will be working against us to save her. If we have the same goal, how do we know how to convey that? Especially when the only way we can reach Red is through the founder's creations.
I don't know.
Why did it have to be such a bad moral dilemma? I want to see my girl Zero, but also if she never comes back, technically she's all good. No bad things happen.
actually...
Yay! But then I make a theory video and I'm like, hey guys, give the founder's creations more attention. I'm a problem. I love reading the
Problematic.
comments on these videos, though. Regardless of when they're posted, I still
That's
get the
so funny.
notifications. So if you
That's so funny though, because it actually is so true. So whatever, if you are, no news is good news with this thing. Like as soon as shit starts happening again, that's when it's like, uh-oh.
have any thoughts or theories, please share them. I would love to hear what you think. Literally a few days before I recorded this, Rambu and Ed Courtois, one of the artists/writers on the Founders game and a bunch of the series graphics, were handing out these postcards at VidCon.
What?
Some of them had
We
a QR
were?
code that linked to an unlisted video with an elevator. Looks like there's a bunker too. Zero had a dream where she fell into a concrete place, and a concrete place is where Ben wandered around like a Roomba.
That is true.
I don't
do
know. Also, if anyone on the Gen Lost team watches this, which thank you for watching the
Is
other
that
ones,
me?
Live, that was really cool. I really appreciate it. I have one message for you.
Uh-oh.
Please let Zero live. She is so cool and also,
noise.
and I love her, and I think she should kick the Founder's ass, and you shouldn't kill her off because that would be so cringe. I mean, like, you should take this idea. It would be a really good idea to take. I'm just saying. To everyone else, thank you so much for watching this video and for making it this far. The script came out to over 23 pages single space and had the most stuff I wanted to cover out of any video I've ever made. Even then, I couldn't touch on everything. Ben has become one of my favorite characters in this series, and if nothing else, play the game for him, please, because I couldn't include, like, any of his personality. Also, a huge thank you to everyone who let me use their photos and clips, and every artist who let me feature their stuff. I love every artist and person in this community. You are all so cool and so sweet,
Jesus
and I couldn't
Christ.
make this without you, and I love you. And one last thing for anyone who experiences derealization, especially in response to content like this, just a reminder that Generation Loss is a fictional piece of media and everyone is safe. No one is being hurt by you watching or liking it. You're all good. Take some time if you need it, okay? Love you. Take care. Do what you gotta do. You're all good.
Eat. Ah! Oh no! No! No!
I'm so
No, don't play my secret shame. No. Sorry. My bad, y'all. Ah! No, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at that, actually. No, back. Oh, man. Let me put it on a good frame while I talk about Generation Lost stuff for a second. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me put it on a good frame from the video. Yeah, sure. We'll put it on this guy. That was a fantastic video. Thank you so much. Thank you so that I really appreciate it, honestly. Thank you, LexCat. Like it's really sweet. Like I don't know. It means a lot to me that like people are willing to like put in the effort to, you know, like just summarize this kind of stuff and like put a lot of like care into, you know, a story that I've put a lot of care into as well. It's really, I really appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, you'll get an update on this from the Patreon, and this will be sort of like a free update, so you won't have to pay for this. But like, I'll talk about this more. But it's like I have spent the reason why there hasn't been anything since Founders Game, especially 2, has been because of the fact that I have been working a lot and we've been figuring out exactly where this series is going to go in the next, like, you know, 2 to 3 years, basically, right? And I wanted to make sure that I had that down before we start releasing anything new. And so there's like a reason why it's like, you know, why like, you know, stuff like, you know, Chronicle Zero, why stuff like, you know, like the Lost Field stuff like got, you know, sort of like jumbled around, is because of the fact that we've been like really focusing on just making sure that the story is in a solid place, especially too. And like I said, I really appreciate this. I love this work. It was really fun, really good, like really funny as well. I enjoyed it a lot. And like I said, I like watching it too, because it's like I like seeing how you guys, you know, like react to what I make, especially too. And I just really appreciate it. And yeah, like it's I highly recommend watching the video as well. Subscribe to this channel too. Subscribe to LexCat as well. Like it's absolutely really good shit. But yeah, like I said, like the new Generation Lost stuff that's going to be coming out at a certain point is going to be sort of like a start of like things that are actually, fully planned out. Like it's not just going to be like, a thing and then a year and then another thing and then like 2 years. It's going to be like as consistent as we can with the amount of work that we can do to still make it good. Um and especially like, the Patreon's going to be something that can really help us do that, in which I promise that 100% of the money that is spent on the Patreon is just going right back into Generation Loss. Like I'm not going to be like pocketing any of it or any shit like that. Like I'm just going to be like using it as sort of like a baseline of like where the budget is. And so, the more, hey, the more people that help out, the better it will be. And that's just kind of how this entire series goes, huh? But yeah, so the goal with it is to become a lot more consistent with it and a lot more fun. And just be able to sort of have that, have that community too. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see, what you guys continue to create with the series, and I'm excited for you guys to see all the little bits and bobs all come together, because it's been something that's been laid out for a really long time, and it is something that I'm very excited to continuously work on, because honestly, like I said, like I want Generation Lost to hopefully become the thing that I am able to do like for a bit, because it has so much to it that I could easily see this series like lasting like, like 10 years or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it has enough in my head to be able to last for a really long time as well. So I really appreciate the support with it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to make it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Once again, thank you to LexCat for making this. This was absolutely incredible. I loved it. Um, and well, that'll be the stream. I will see you guys on Friday, I think, for the Pokemon Nuzlocke potentially. Wait, let me check to see if that's happening. Okay, cool. Yes, we are going to be doing the Pokemon Nuzlocke on Friday. Friday and Saturday, Point Crow's Nuzlocke challenge. So get excited for that. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much. Once again, give LexCat some support as well, because like the video is absolutely incredible. Really loved it. I will see you guys on Friday, and you guys will see something from this series sometime in the future. And because I can't say anything because I don't want it to then get delayed and then I end up being a liar. So I'll see you guys. Goodbye. Bye bye. Goodbye. Bye.